Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Day Trading Coach. We are here on this Thursday, October 15, at our 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time class. Tonight, we're going to talk about how to do historicals. I learned how to trade by doing historicals. I did not learn how to trade by looking at the live market. I learned how to trade by doing historicals. Any person that truly learns how to do historicals will soon discover how the market actually moves systematically, will soon discover how to interpret it, the Golden Falcon Trading Pro. This is not the most important class here is mindset. This is the second most important class. It's not Fibonacci's and Elliott Wave. It's not price action kind of thing, but of course this involves price action. Um, I'm going to ask that everyone stays off the class once we finish this class. Now, in front of us here, we have a quote by Albert Einstein, and the quote says, "Reality is merely an illusion." Reality is merely an illusion. Read that. Think about this for a minute. Reality is merely an illusion. You know, 95% of our decisions every single day is based on what? The decisions you make, that most people make about money, about anything in life, is based on what? Can I get some answers? That's correct, Dirk. It's based on our realities. Think about it. We make decisions, most people make decisions all day long, every single day, based on their reality. Let's say their experience, their beliefs. You see, the reality is day trading and profiting $1,000 a day is too good to be true. The reality is that trading, 90 plus percent of the people lose money. The reality is I can do nothing about it because I'm under these, for example, particular structures, rules. And the reality is that I cannot make any extra money. Look at the economy. Yes, Tyler, what you perceive to believe to be true. Yes, John, what you believe. So a genius, a genius says that reality is merely an illusion. So what is an illusion? What does that word mean to you? What is an illusion? Can somebody give me a description of an illusion? Uh-huh. Very good. So if an illusion is something that is not real, did you ever thought about that? If an illusion is something that is really not real, and yet just about better than 90% of the population lives based on their reality, wow, think about that. Think about that. Now, a truth to someone is a truth to someone, but a truth to someone is a lie to someone else. Most of everything we believe, it's not real. It's not the real substance. It's not the real thing. This Reality is merely an illusion. This is something you should write this down, and you should give a thought. You should consider. And you should write down a lot of things that you believe in, and guess what? You should question it. You should question better than 90% of everything you believe in. So this would be something you could do this weekend in addition to historicals. How many times have you considered your truths and your realities? How many times? How many times have you stopped and really consider your truths and your reality? So I would ask, write this down, and I would ask, put it to paper and give a thought this weekend. Who will do this? Okay. Um, it is to your best interest to really consider what I'm sharing with you guys, because there is so many things that we think is real, that we think is truth, that we've been living based on it most of our lives, definitely the past 5 years, 10 years. That is not so. Okay, the reality of the stock market for most people is that it's bad. You can lose everything. Because history has shown that, but yet there's another side to the market. The reason most people don't make money in the market is because they never take the time to study it correctly. Correctly. Okay. Are we good? Can we move on? Beautiful. I like to see when you guys respond. Okay. We're going to look at historicals. Now, to study historicals, you should start, for example, with one chart. And I like to start with the 8 because the 8 presents so much more twists and turns, so to speak, than the 32 or the 16. Now, doing a historical on the 8, on the Falcon 8, it comes to a point where there is unanswered questions. And if I run into an unanswered question on the 8, when I started doing historicals, then I would let go. I would do so much study on the 8, for example, that back in the day was to be a 9, that I got so good at the 8 that after a period of time, then I would add, for example, the 16. And then I would do historicals between the 8 and the 16. And then when I didn't really see, I start seeing a lot of unclarity between the 8 and 16, I would add the 32. And at that point, that's how I learned to put the whole picture together completely. Then I would have answers pretty much for everything. And then it came a point in time where I added the 3-hour chart kind of thing. But I didn't go beyond the 8, 16, and 32 until I had a clear understanding of the possible outcome for the market for the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, and so on. Once I had the 8, the 16, the 32 pegged, do you guys understand what I mean when I say pegged? then I would add the 4. Pegged means understood. Once I got that thing figured out, that I could tell what was going to happen before it happened, then I added a 4. And then when I wasn't clear on a 4, Then I added a 3. You see, a sequence. Because if you are a newcomer, and if you really don't know how to do a historical, you try to add all these charts at the same time, you're going to get lost. You're going to get confused. Does that make sense? Look, you got to learn the ABCs, the alphabet, first, yeah? And then you got to learn your vowels, kind of thing. Then you got to learn how to put the words together, then the verbs. It's a step at a time. Never be in a hurry to get to the end of the book. Never get in a hurry to get to the end of the book. It's not to your advantage. What you have here in the palm of your hands is something that hundreds of thousands of people in Canada, before you know it here, wish they knew what you know. Those of you here, you are way advanced. Most of you here can tell what the market is going to do before it does. But are you really that solid? You got to look at historicals as something like, for example, Muhammad Ali going back to train before we went to the next fight. You got to looking at historicals as this 8-cup or whatever you call it football team that has won World Series. Before the next game, what did they do? They go back to train. Does that make sense? You must think like this. If you are looking at the live market in the morning and you are trading the live market, and historicals is something that, you just wait to trade the market again, you will miss the boat. Look, I'm giving you and been giving you step by step how you become really good at this. There is training. There is the exercises. There is the time that the market is not moving up and down, and you don't have to focus on this. If the market is not moving, then your mind, if the market is moving, where is your mind going to go to most of the time? Tell me, please tell me. You're going to go to the price, yes. So if you keep pushing yourself to the price, how are you going to really study what happened and what could happen? So please, very few are responding here. There's 90 folks in here. I want to see responses, please. I want to see you respond. Put your fingers to work here. We are all adults, and we shouldn't have to be told over and over again what to do. Okay? So, historicals is what you study. Why do you study historicals? Can you tell me why you study historicals? The market repeats itself. The market is people. People are creatures of habit. That's why you study historicals. You study historicals because everything people do, they do based on a system. 1. 2. The market is people. People are creatures of habit. That's why you study historicals. You want to see how the market keeps behaving the same way over and over and over again. That's the reason. To recognize the repeating patterns. For sure, Bob. Guys, you see, you must take note of these things. You must write these things. You must have a notebook. So if your mind tries to push you into the live market, are you ready for the live market? Have you done enough historicals? Do you really understand what could happen next based on the Golden Falcon Trading Pro, who describes to you the next possibility? It's when you can, if you look at the market today and you see something happen and you know that happened yesterday or 2 days ago, you remember, that's when this thing is really becoming a part of you. Okay? Becomes a part of you. Professional trader keeps a journal. Sure. No, I got a surprise for you guys. I never kept a record of any of my trades on a journal. I never kept a record of the emotions and feelings and what I was feeling in any of my trades, ever. What I did, personally, was I went back. I went back to historicals over and over and over again. I'm not saying not to keep a journal, but make sure you're writing things down correctly on your journals. All right. I I'm going to ask you guys to wait a minute